with that.
Before he announced the rematch, did you guys speak? Was there any talks of maybe trying to do it and then he eventually announced the retirement? In other words, were there any negotiations or any talks whatsoever about trying to do the rematch
after the fight?
Right after. And
Right
how did that go
fight.
initially?
No, I don't know if they say to him.
Yeah.
But right after the fight, we talked with Turki Lashi. We talked about it, but anything happened.
Yeah.
I think we sometimes we go out of bases. You know what I mean? I did everything good in the training camp, but my mind was.
Did you again or no?
I hope so. I got the feeling. That he's gonna come and fight again.
You feel that way? Because he's adamant. Like I spoke to him 2 weeks ago. He says, no, I'm good. And everyone...
You need to respect that.
Yeah.
If he's out, right? But I hope not. I hope he come again for one more.
So, I ain't got nothing to do today. So I thought I'd come in here and work out for the first time since I fought. And guess what they got me doing? Well, I got myself doing. Sparring Lester. About to get in. Just 2 rounds. Stay tuned, baby. Listen. Got my ass in there. 2 rounds, got my ass kicked. That's very humbling. I ain't used to that. I gotta get back in shape. I can't just be going months and months and months, not doing nothing, and then think I'm young and I can get in here and spar the big dogs like that. I'll be back though. Stay tuned.
It has become one of boxing's most fascinating obsessions. Canelo Alvarez suffered a rare and deeply disappointing defeat on the biggest stage. And before he could even seriously begin discussing redemption, the man who beat him disappeared from the picture. When Terence Crawford left the ring in September 2025, wearing Canelo's super middleweight championship, he didn't simply add another historic achievement to his resume. He left Canelo facing a problem with almost no obvious solution.
I really won, and I need to make this fight happen again, no? And it's gonna be different. I think for him to deserve all the credit, he need to give me the rematch.
What should have been the final chapter of their story has instead developed into one of boxing's most intense unresolved situations. Canelo has refused to simply move forward, repeatedly calling for another opportunity against a retired Crawford. The Mexican superstar appears determined to change the way their first meeting is remembered and convince Crawford to return for one more chapter.
It's not about money.
Right.
You know what I mean? I get a lot of paydays, like you say, but I still love boxing. I don't do it because I get a lot big paydays. It's because I really still enjoy boxing. I love boxing, but it's nothing out there for me to prove, because I did everything. I accomplished pretty much everything.
The night that transformed the super middleweight landscape remains fresh in the minds of boxing fans. Crawford, the naturally smaller fighter moving up multiple weight classes, didn't simply survive Canelo's renowned power. He systematically neutralized it through intelligence, timing, movement, and precision. Crawford repeatedly made the heavier champion miss before answering with clean counters. Canelo struggled to establish his normal rhythm and looked increasingly frustrated as Crawford controlled the distance. It was a tactical performance that exposed weaknesses few expected to see from the Mexican superstar. But for a fighter with Canelo's legendary reputation, accepting that he was simply outboxed is much harder than it sounds.
For an option.
Crawford is the most complete fighter that I've ever witnessed in real life. He's the most complete. He has it inside and also outside. He will beat Floyd Mayweather. There's no hands down. I don't care about that resume crap. We just saw a dude, they said, oh, he got a better resume. He fought more of this. He fought more of that. I don't give a damn about no damn resume. What I give a damn about is skill for skill. Heart to heart. Will to win. Yeah. Hey, they both got great wills to win. However, damn, I'm telling y'all, Crawford will beat Floyd Mayweather in his prime. Pound for pound. Prime versus prime. He'll beat Floyd Mayweather. 135, 140, 147, it don't matter. He'll beat him. He'll beat him. He has the concentration. He has the ring IQ. He has more power than Floyd. He's longer than Floyd. He's stronger than Floyd. He can counterpunch. He can fight for both sides. He got a chin of granite. Come on, man. Y'all, man. Hey, I love me some Floyd Mayweather, but I'm just going to keep it a buck with y'all. Terence Crawford is a different animal. Terence Crawford, no offense to Zab. Zab was a fantastic fighter, but Zab ain't no damn Terence Crawford. He's not. Hell no. He'll beat Floyd in everything. Man, y'all could be stuck on that Floyd Mayweather. Y'all could be stuck on this resume bull crap all y'all want, man. I'm not going to stop saying it. Terence Crawford would beat...
Behind the scenes, another major factor has become part of the story. The contract. Canelo, despite being one of boxing's biggest stars and a clear A-side going into the matchup, reportedly entered the fight without a guaranteed rematch clause that could protect him if things went wrong. That decision became enormously important once Crawford produced the upset.
Were you of the understanding, as champion going into the fight, that if it didn't go your way, that there would be a rematch? Was that discussed beforehand?
No, never discussed.
Never discussed.
No.
I know there wasn't a rematch clause.
It was some mistake in my side to not sign the rematch, right? Because the champion always need to do the rematch clause, right? Clause rematch or whatever. And I didn't.
Then, only a few months later, Crawford announced his retirement in December 2025. Suddenly, the consequences of that contract situation became impossible to ignore. Canelo had lost his championship, lost his leverage, and now had no contractual mechanism forcing Crawford back into the ring. Crawford had accomplished what many believed was impossible, and then walked away from the sport with a decision completely under his own control. Canelo's explanations for the defeat eventually began to emerge. During a revealing appearance on the Ariel Helwani show, the Mexican star offered his perspective on what went wrong. Canelo maintained that his preparation inside the gym had been excellent, but admitted that problems during fight week affected his concentration. He explained that his mind wasn't completely focused and suggested that outside distractions interfere with important parts of his final preparation.
Yes.
How does that fight now sit with you? How do you feel about it?
Oh, I feel great. It's already happened. I cannot control. I know what I did bad. Not bad, wrong. I think we sometimes we go out of bases. You know what I mean? I did everything good in the training camp, but my mind wasn't there.
Why not?
I don't know. I feel like I wasn't there thinking about other things. A lot of things happen in the fight week. So sometimes we going out of bases, focus on the fight, focus on boxing. Like I say, I did everything good in the camp. I always train very hard. But it's not just that. You can be physically ready, but if your mind is not there, it's not the same.
I heard you say the weight cut and maybe the rehydration wasn't great?
Everything is because my mind wasn't there. So
you were thinking about other things?
Yeah.
But it's such a big fight. How do you, usually...
I don't know.
You've done this so many times.
I just can't tell you. I just cannot tell you how that happened. It just happened, right? And I need to learn about what happened. I don't gonna victimize myself. Oh, I should do this, but it's already happened. I need to move forward, right? And just make sure not happen again.
There were also reports surrounding physical problems during the build-up and afterward, including cramping and an elbow issue that eventually required surgery. Those circumstances have allowed Canelo to argue that Crawford didn't face the best possible version of him. Rather than viewing the result as a straightforward tactical defeat, Canelo appears convinced that circumstances prevented him from performing at his true level.
This right, or you're doing this wrong, or more pressure?
He tell me everything, and I try, but my body doesn't respond. I have cramps in my legs, so doesn't respond the way I really want. But it is what it is. We learn from that and we move forward. And I know what mistakes I made in the fight and in the camp too. But that's what it's boxing about. I think a winner doesn't mean you need to win every time. No, you need to learn from everything, from the losses, take the losses, and learn from that and move forward and still doing the things you love.
Now, you could have fought anyone last year. You know, you're big enough where you could have put me in the ring and it would have did numbers. You gave him a big opportunity. You're a type of guy who likes a little payback. Was there any part of you that got upset when he announced his retirement and you said, oh, I gave you the opportunity, now you're not going to give me the opportunity back?
Yeah, of course. That's I think he don't. I always give all his credit, no, but we need to run it back. That's why my tough. When after the fight, I say we need to run it back this fight because I don't feel the way.
That belief has helped fuel an enormous campaign for a rematch. Across social media, Canelo has repeatedly discussed the possibility of another fight and suggested that Crawford's victory deserves even greater validation through a second meeting. The frustration became even more visible when the two fighters unexpectedly crossed paths in Egypt near the famous pyramids of Giza, creating another unforgettable moment in their ongoing story.
You can't do it. I see him flying around the cruiserweight. I see him, my brother. He's flying around the cruiserweight. Make the way for it. Let's do this, guys. Yeah. Very nice. One more? Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
There's an obvious irony here. Before their first fight, Canelo repeatedly argued that defeating a much smaller opponent would not receive the same level of recognition. Now, the situation has completely reversed. ESPN's Salvador Rodriguez recently fueled the speculation by reporting that Canelo remains interested in pursuing a rematch with Crawford in 2026.
Showdown.
If you could map out for yourself a perfect 2026, how would you map it out?
Oh, win a world champion.
Is there anyone that you see? Because, I mean, you could fight that. You could just point your finger and fight anybody. Is there anyone that you see that you're like, I like that guy's style. I want to be in the ring with that guy one day.
I want somebody to come and fight, to make a good fight. That's what I want. Make it a good fight, and the people love the fight. The people enjoy the fight. That's what I want.
Another fighter who works with His Excellencies, obviously Dmitry Bivol. Is that a closed chapter for you, or is that something you may still do in the future?
No, why not? We'll see in the future. It makes sense. Why not? I always, like I say, I always like challenge, and why not? Maybe.
When people look back at your career, 10 years from now, 100 years from now, maybe with the 100th Ring Magazine Awards, and one day they're showing a video about you, what do you want them to remember most about Canelo Alvarez?
Oh, all the things I accomplished is very hard to do it. So I think they're going to remember me. I'm going to be in the history of boxing, in the books of history of boxing. I'm being a lot of times fighter of the year, this and that. I think they're going to remember me. And what I want to remember is that you need to take care about you. You need to take care about what you are doing, because
When reporters approached Crawford about Canelo's plans for a potential 2026 rematch, the former champion responded with a remarkably dismissive reaction. Crawford essentially indicated that the news was nothing he had heard before. During other media appearances, including the Breakfast Club, he reinforced the same position, pointing out that the original agreement did not contain a rematch clause. From Crawford's perspective, there is no contractual obligation forcing him back into
Then what?
The Crawford's team has been equally firm. His longtime trainer, Brian Bomac McIntyre, has publicly suggested that Canelo should consider moving on rather than continuing to chase another fight with Crawford. The message from the Crawford camp has remained consistent. The first fight happened. The result is on the record, and Crawford has already accomplished what he wanted.
Gracefully.
What about Canelo? He's spoken about the potential of moving forward and continuing. He put so far in his Instagram caption in the sense of he's not done yet. Would you like to, just as a fan, not because you've just beaten him, would you like to see him continue or retire?
Yeah, I'd love to see Canelo fight again, man. If he want to continue 2 or 3 more fights, just let him go ahead and do it. He earned the right to do what he wanted to do. You know, and he fought some of the best fighters of his era. And when you get to that stage, and it's in his blood. So go ahead, Canelo, fight again. 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, however many times you want.
Would you, though? Because genuinely, from the most unbiased perspective, he's out of his prime now. And there's not many people, if you're not going to fight Benavidez, there's no one that people would be clamoring for him to fight. What should he do now?
Well, I think Charlo just put something out there that he's like something about my division. I'm on my way back, so fight Charlo.
What if he loses that?
Well, then you might have to consider.
Even Hall of Fame legend Roy Jones Jr. has also entered the discussion. Jones has advised Crawford not to allow Canelo's comments to pull him back into a fight he no longer needs. In Jones' view, Crawford has already proven himself at 168 pounds and should focus on whatever challenges make sense for the remainder of his career. Every time Canelo mentions another fight, Crawford's side appears to remain unmoved, which only increases the perception that the Mexican star is chasing someone who has already moved on.
Asking me why I retired. When you've been doing this sport since you was 7 years old, and I'm 37 at the time, well 38 when I retired, that's 30 years, bro. 30 years. So you ask yourself, if you've been taking your body through hell for 30 years, would you retire? All right then, so there go your answer. So that's why I retired. There's nothing else for me to accomplish in the sport of boxing. I gave my all to boxing, but I'm not gonna give my health to boxing. If I was to come back, well, who would I fight? I'm asking you.
Well, that's a good question. That's a good question.
All right, so there you go. There you go. I have nobody to fight. I have nothing to accomplish. So now I'm just coming back for the sport and just money. I never fought for money. I always fought for legacy. A lot of people said I was taking the Canelo fight to fight for money. Yeah, we prize fighter. Yeah, we want a prize, but at the same time, I always fought for legacy. That's what it was.
What's the first sport now that you're done with boxing that you get into in retirement? What's the first sport? Because you're an athletic dude. You're always doing something. What do you get into?
Me personally, I'm not getting into nothing. I'm
no golf.
Nah. I'm just.
I was gonna say, because I whoop you on the links too. We got to get you in Madden, and then I'll get you on the golf course too.
Man, listen, I'm just taking the time to travel the world, to spend with my family, and I'm not worried about nothing right now. I said I was gonna take a year off just to do that, and then next year I was gonna think about what I'm gonna do next. But for now, I'm just relaxing.
This situation has sparked enormous debate throughout the boxing community, particularly among fans discussing the issue online. Many supporters believe Canelo needs to accept that time may finally be catching up with him. Turning professional at only 15 years old means he has spent more than 2 decades absorbing the physical demands of elite boxing. Some fans are now questioning whether another attempt to chase Crawford is worth the risk. From their perspective, Crawford has nothing left to prove against Canelo, while Canelo may be putting his legacy on the line simply because he cannot accept the first result.
No, never discussed.
Never discussed.
No.
I know there wasn't a rematch clause.
It was some mistake in my side to not sign the rematch, right? Because we the champion always need to do the rematch clause, right? Clause rematch or whatever. And I didn't for some reason, but things happen for a reason, you know. I hope that fight, the rematch come. If not, it's fine. We need to move forward, right?
In the ring, when you spoke to him, did you get the feeling that he wanted to do it again? In other words, were you surprised ultimately when he announced his retirement?
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I'm surprised because as a fighter, we want a rematch, right? We want to show again, and I always did good in my rematch, and yeah, surprised me a lot. But it is what it is. It's his life, his career, and I can do nothing with that.
Before he announced the rematch, did you guys speak? Was there any talks of maybe trying to do it and then he eventually announced the retirement? In other words, were there any negotiations or any talks whatsoever about trying to do the rematch
right
after
the fight?
Right after. And how did that go
fight.
initially?
No, I don't know if they say to him.
Yeah.
But right after the fight, we talked with Turki Lashi. We talk about it, but anything happened.
Still, there is one factor capable of changing the entire equation. Saudi Arabian investment. Boxing power broker Turki Alashik has repeatedly demonstrated his willingness to put enormous financial resources behind major fights. If a massive enough offer were placed on the table, there's always a possibility that even a retired Crawford could reconsider his decision. Money has brought major fighters back before, and a Canelo rematch would undoubtedly be one of the biggest financial opportunities available.
Spotlight. I have a feeling he will be.
If Crawford remains firm and refuses every offer, Canelo's next move could look very different. Boxing insiders could see him taking a comeback or tune-up fight in the middle of 2026 against a less dangerous opponent. Such a matchup would allow Canelo to rebuild momentum, regain confidence, and potentially position himself for another championship opportunity. For a fighter accustomed to headlining the biggest events in boxing, however, stepping back into a smaller fight would represent a significant change.
Do you think you ever fight him again or no?
I hope so. I got the feeling that he's gonna come and fight again.
You feel that way? Because he's adamant. Like I spoke to him 2 weeks ago. He says, no, I'm good. And everyone...
You need to respect that.
Yeah.
If he's out, right? But I hope not. I hope he come again for one more fight.
You've been having, massive paydays for a very long time, 17 straight title fights, and you've not shown any signs of wanting to slow down. Are you surprised that he got to the top relatively recently? Mm-hmm. He's always been great, but only big fights recently, maybe since the Spence fight 3 years ago, and then he retires. Like, there's a lot of money for him to be made, and he's still at the top of the game.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's thinking about, but sometimes it's not about money.
Right.
You know what I mean? I get a lot of paydays, like you say, but I'm still love boxing. I don't do it because I get a lot big paydays. It's because I really still enjoy boxing. I love boxing, but it's nothing out there for me to prove, because I did everything. I accomplished pretty much everything in boxing. I still enjoy it, but it's maybe 3-4 more fights for me there, because I have other goals out of boxing. So,
like what?
My business, and enjoy my
Canelo Promotions as well.
No, I don't think so.
No.
With everything happened with promoters right now and all that stuff, I don't want to be involved on that kind of stuff. It's not really my goal to be involved in a promoter or something, or fighting with all the promoters. I don't want to be involved.
It's a lot of drama.
Ultimately, this entire situation demonstrates just how complicated a legendary career can become. Canelo Alvarez is searching for redemption against an opponent who appears perfectly comfortable walking away. Terence Crawford accomplished the impossible, defeated one of boxing's biggest stars, and then retired with his victory intact. Now the question is whether Crawford should risk that perfect ending simply to give Canelo another opportunity. Does Canelo deserve a rematch, or should Crawford leave the rivalry exactly where it stands? And if they fought again, who would win? Let us know your prediction in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming boxing stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.